Okay, welcome back. We got a couple of videos we're going to check out here today, and the subject is basically going to be about dating single moms, and we have a few TikTok videos here to check out. So let's get into it.
I want to clarify something for the men. If you're in the dating pool and you happen to be interested in somebody, but they've got kids, can I just make something really clear for you? Most of the time, when you're dating a single mum, they're not looking for another dad for the kids. The kids have already got a dad. You
Sometimes,
don't need to become a dad. What that woman wants is companionship. She wants a friend. She wants someone to support and love her, not someone to financially support the children. That's her job. That's our role as a parent. You're not the parent. Okay, so although
that
I
point, fair
understand it
enough.
is something to take into consideration, especially if you're looking at a long term situation where you do end up conjoining finances. But unless that woman is a widow or unless there's exceptional circumstances, these children have their own father figure. You can be involved in their life, but most single mums who are dating for the right intentions are not looking for a financial handout. We just want somebody to love us, just like you do, just like all the women without children do as well. There are a lot of perks on dating a single mum: snacks, cooking. We understand responsibility. We
That's kind of funny. Snacks. Well, maybe that's just a little bit of tongue in cheek, or I don't know, but I mean, they understand responsibility. Well, I mean, you don't really need to be a single parent to understand that and know how to cook. But I kind of hear what she's saying. But that's just kind of funny. That's would be the first thing that she says as an advantage.
know what it means to show up even when you don't feel like it. We know what it means to love, like really love something, someone, to take care. I want to.
You know how it is to really love, but then you also know how it is to break that love because you are divorced and you are single. And chances are the stats say that you were the one that chose that. So got to consider that too.
Clarify something for the men.
Okay, so we got that one comment here. We'll just check out this one comment. So true, but unfortunately, I think there are a high level of women in 2025 who tarnish this for the rest of us who are strong and independent. There's that two words again: strong and independent, and can stand on our own 2 feet. Well, I mean, that's it. That is becoming such a cliche expression, strong and independent. Yeah, well, a lot of the times these strong and independent women are the same ones that are on here crashing out, talking about how everything is so hard for them and no men will take them seriously and they can't find a man that wants them because of being a single mom and all sorts of other issues that they have surrounding being in the position that they are, but yet strong and independent keeps coming up. Let's check out another one here. This person is replying to a comment that says, "I wouldn't want to be with a single mom, especially as a man with no kids." So this is let's listen to what this lady has to say about that one.
Calling all men, especially if you agree with this comment, that you wouldn't want to be with a single mom, especially as a man with no kids. Okay, I would love to hear the reasons why. If
There
you
are a
agree
few.
with this, if you agree
There are a
with what
few.
he said, I would love to know what the fuck your deal is. So leave a comment, please explain. Don't just leave some bullshit. I need explanations of your reasons why. Like, it doesn't matter on the woman and her personality and like what she's got going on. Like, just it's an automatic no if they have kids. Please tell me. Calling all men, especially if you agree with this comment.
Okay, well, let's check out a few comments and then we'll talk a little bit about it. First one here: because the other guy is probably still in the picture. That's a big one too, because the father of the kids, more often than not, to whatever degree, is definitely still in the picture. Whether it's seeing the kids once a week, twice a week, every 2 weeks, whether it's contacting the mother for giving them money for the kids, there is another guy in the picture, and that definitely complicates some things. And I know the knee-jerk thing is, oh, well, you insecure. Well, no, it's not. It complicates things. It's not a simple situation, as this woman is single with no other attachments. She does have an attachment that, like it or not, is going to remain with her for the life of the kids and her for the most part. So not everybody wants that and accepts that. And a lot of the times women can get back together with their exes, especially if they work things out, they're in constant contact. Maybe they'll find after being apart for a while they want to get back together. Things like that do definitely happen. Next comment here says the biggest problem is you get attached, start to love them, and now if you split, you not only lose a partner, but kids you have now grown to think of as your own. And that's definitely something as well too. It's just like, you can get together with the mother, start to have feelings with her, and of course you're going to start to get to know the kids, and even it happens even easier. The kids will get attached to you, the kids will start to love you, and then now all of a sudden if you break up with the woman, for example, or she leaves you, now you have hurt children as well too, and you have the pain to carry around of that as well too, that then now the kids are hurting. So the kids have already been screwed over twice. One, they lost their real father, then they got this other guy coming into the picture, the mom's new boyfriend, and that fucks up somehow, then they lose that guy too. So the kids are really getting messed up, and that's a consideration as well too, is that you lose not only the woman but access to like the family that some guys maybe thought they were starting to build, and it got taken away. Okay, and I don't want to put my future kids in some weird ass child hatch situation. Okay, let's see another one. Okay, absolutely correct. 3 times the relationship, 3 times the drama, 3 times the cost, and absolutely no say in what happens. And a lot of that is true too, because as a father or acting as a stepfather, a lot of times you don't have say into what happens with the kids or the choices that they make, because you get the same thing thrown in your face. Oh, you're not their father. Or when the kids start to grow up a bit, they'll start to act up a little bit, and I'm not listening to you. Why should I? You're not my father. So you have a guy getting into a situation like that where he really has no actual authority over what's going on, because that same line, oh, you're not my father, you're not my kids, just keeps getting thrown back in his face. And not every guy wants to deal with that, because sometimes relationships and are hard enough to keep going, but then you have this other dynamic thrown in there that is just going to make it harder too. She will constantly hold him accountable for what her ex-husband did, and that's what that woman said in one of the other videos, or actually sorry, in the one that we're going to watch right at the end. She kind of sums that up too. It's just like this, the single mother is going to carry the baggage from what has already happened to her with her previous relationships. So in some ways another guy is going to come in and say he doesn't want to carry the baggage based on what somebody else did. He's coming into an already damaged situation that the woman is going to carry past trauma, resentment, all types of things into the new relationship, just based off of what the previous guy did. So let's see 1 or 2 more here. Well, here's another one that summed up what I said a minute ago. All of the responsibility, none of the authority. That's very true too. You do have all of the responsibility of caring for the kids, probably helping out, maybe taking them to soccer practice, spending time with them, playing with them, being there to answer questions, to help them when you can, and none of the authority. The authority as far as what you feel is good, or if you don't want your kid maybe doing something, or you think something's not a good idea, well, your opinion doesn't matter if the mother thinks differently, because she's not going to, in most cases, let what you want override what she wants for her own kids. So basically you take a back seat to almost any decision regarding that. So you have all of that responsibility, none of the authority. That kind of sums it up pretty well right there. Let's see if there's anything else here before we just check out this last video. Yeah, here's another one that says the same thing as we talked about in one of the first comments. The biggest risk of dating a single mom, married or not, if the relationship fails, you lose the mother and the children. This is the main reason why I don't marry my current girlfriend. I didn't marry my current girlfriend. Very true. You're not only losing the girl, you're losing the kids too, and not only the hurt that you feel from losing the kids, the hurt that the kids feel from losing you. And that will be the second time the kids have been hurt. They lost their father, now they lost their mother's boyfriend. Now she's going to likely go on to another one, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And how are the kids going to be at the end of that? They're going to grow up with dad issues. All they see is a revolving door of guys coming and going their whole life, and nobody sticks around. That can't be too helpful. All right, let's check out one more video here, and this is the one where this lady kind of sums up a lot of the things we just talked about. So let's check this one out.
This one will sting, but it's the truth. A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms, not because they're bad people, okay, but because of the baggage that comes with it. Let's break it down, shall we? A divorced woman usually carries emotional scars. She's been through betrayal, conflict, failure, child custody, and often she hasn't healed from it. That pain doesn't just disappear. It bleeds into the next relationship. Men can feel that bitterness, that distrust, and most don't want to pay for what the last man did. Now let's talk about the single moms. It's not just about dating her, it's about inheriting her past. The ex is always in the picture. The baby daddy will be forever tied to her and her child. And no matter how great the guy is, he's never the first priority. Her kids will be. And they should be. The child should come first. But most men aren't signing up to be second place.
That's one thing too that I didn't mention a few minutes ago, is that the man in this sort of a relationship is going to have to accept the fact that he is not going to be the first priority. I've myself read so many profiles on dating sites that say something along the lines of, my kids are number one. If you don't like that, move along. Or if you don't like that, swipe away, or something to that extent. So a lot of these women just are very, I mean, almost argumentative sounding, at least in their profiles when they say that. Like, basically, like, my kids are first, fuck you if you don't like it, basically is what they're saying. And then they wonder why guys just don't want to jump into a dynamic like that without fully thinking it through, like, because that's very real, and a lot of them say that too, and they say that without shame. And like she just said, well, which in some ways they should, like, her kids really should come first. She shouldn't put her new boyfriend over her kids, but still the boyfriend has to deal with that and know that and accept that he is going to be number two always. And yeah, that's not
in their own
not
relationship.
too cool.
It doesn't mean divorced women or single moms can't find love. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean the pool is smaller, because men weigh these realities before committing to somebody.
They do.
So stop shaming men for wanting less baggage. It's not hate, it's honesty. If you want a high value man, you've got to bring more than wounds and history to the relationship. You have to bring healing, peace, and partnership, because that's what men stay for. This one will sting, but it...
Okay, so yeah, she kind of summed up a lot of the points pretty well right there. So it is a difficult situation. It's not always so easy. I mean, a lot of the women you'll see get on here and they'll act like, oh, there's something must be really wrong with men. Why wouldn't they want a single mother with kids? And it's just because it's not easy, because you're not just accepting one person in your life, you're accepting three, maybe even four, or multiple people into your life, which are her kids. And that's not always that easy to do, especially when you have another man in the picture to a certain degree. Sometimes the father has absolutely nothing to do with the kids, but more often than not, they do on some level. Whether it's like twice a week, 3 times a week, or once a month, there's always that other guy hovering over in the picture, and they're not even your kids, so what if the guy stops by all the time, or it's just, you just have one other potential piece of drama that could rear its head at any time. So anyway, that's a pretty interesting video. Thought I would check a couple of those out today. So all right, we will see you next time.